Okay, so we got the VJump Scan for the upcoming characters. Today's video, we're going to go ahead and talk about these characters. We are also going to speculate on the groupings of characters I think are going to impact or be impacted the most. Basically, the teams that these characters are going to impact the most. And then also, we're going to be talking about the Broly and Cheelai stuff and just a lot of stuff. So, yeah, this video is going to be probably a numerous minutes over one image. Meme it, get over it. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed this one, hit that subscribe, of course, if you are new for more content. But I really want to take my time with this one, and we're going to kind of just dissect it. So, we do have a VJump Scan for an upcoming Trunks and Cell card. I was going to say Zamasu because he's on my brain for a different topic. But anyways, Trunks and Cell card coming into the game. Immediate thoughts. I have no words for Regen. Regen is just going to be what it is at this point. I'm expecting Regen to keep getting buffs up until the anniversary where they just say, oh, anti-Regen this, anti-Regen that. I don't know what they're going to do, but we'll see what happens. But Future also is the one that's prevalent in my mind, even though the Trunks could potentially be buffing like Vegeta family or also like hybrids. Super Saiyan maybe? I don't know. Like, they could do numerous things with Trunks. He's going to be on a lot of different team groups, but I think that Future and Regen are the hot topics for this one. And on top of that, though, I've been saying this all along, right? I think that it's very important to pay attention to the characters that get released in the game for the next few months, right? Leading up to the anniversary, I think that'll paint a little bit of a picture about what characters will wind up being on the anniversary banners, right? I think, just for the record, the characters that at the top of my brain are going to be like a Sword of Hope Trunks, Merge Zamasu. Those characters are at the top of my list in terms of how this could work out. I think the LR, thinking of their anniversary over there. No, the Blue Fusions could also be high on that list as well as possibilities. But again, if we start seeing like a lot of Fusion Warrior type stuff, maybe some God Key banners dropping as well, and maybe some more Future type stuff or like Dragon Ball Super Broly type of content, that could lead into, again, the anniversary, which would be in a few months. That would be a nice little Easter egg type of deal for what we could potentially see, right? And if Regen keeps getting buffed the way they are, why not just give them Zamasu? Just screw it. Give them the big guy. Just give them Zamasu, right? So, again, that doesn't mean anything, but it's worth mention, and I think that we all should be aware and thinking about that, especially because we're kind of close. It's a few months. We're kind of close. So, let's go ahead and talk about the translations here from Goresh, our friend. So Super Saiyan Trunks, special move, Change the Future, instantly moves to close range and blasts the enemy. He also has an ultimate arts ability that nullifies element factor when used. Sparking Cell is able to do a Kamehameha. The rest of the info is cut off. So I want to say this. Majority of the time, these have always been about Ultra Space Time Summon banners. So keep that in mind. This could highly, most likely is, high probability that this is an Ultra Space Time banner. I just won't go out and adamantly say that it will be like I would have 3 or 4 months ago, because in the last 3 or 4 months, things have changed, right? We saw SS4s pop in, some other stuff. It's more or less, you can't completely confirm without a shadow of a doubt that it's always going to be Ultra Space Time anymore. Most of the time it would say, it's actually not saying here, apparently. Goresh was saying that it doesn't say, but most of the time it would say it. If it's not Ultra Space Time, it could be a Legends Rising, but I'm going to bank on it being Ultra Space Time, which, for the record, would mean it's not popping up today. We have shop maintenance today. It is not going to be this. This probably won't even be next week. It'll probably be 2 weeks from today, basically, at the time of the recording. So keep that in mind. If you're looking for this, you probably got to wait a couple more weeks. Maybe that's good or bad for you. If it's Ultra Space Time, then you have more things like the tickets you can use, whatever the case is, right? So that's how this is looking in terms of this. Now, what do I expect to drop today? Broly and Cheelai. Why? Because the Japanese the Japanese Play Store, App Store, whatever, was basically advertising the game saying Broly and Cheelai are here. Now, a couple of things that come to mind with that. I don't know how Cheelai all of a sudden became hype enough to really market. In most cases, they just say, oh, a new Broly is coming, and that's enough. I don't know why they felt the need to throw Cheelai on there. I think that's actually very important. I think that the Cheelai name in there could be a hint or something that maybe she's going to be super good or something different. I don't know, but I don't think Cheelai warrants being on that list. So we'll see what happens later today when we probably get, a Twitter video or something like that. But again, in the past, they would just say Broly. I have nothing against Cheelai. It just doesn't make sense to me. So that being said, that is probably what's dropping tonight. We have shop maintenance. We have summon maintenance. There should be a banner. Like, pretty positive. There should be a banner. And next week, probably going to be a rerun banner. You know what I'm talking about. They do those every other week, basically, at this point. So before we move on from this and kind of talk about the teams that get impacted, I want to just kind of show you guys a little image here. So this is Trunks' special move where he teleports in, it looks like. That's pretty cool if he just instantly goes from like long range there. You know how nuts that'd be? If he has to do the little fly to them thing that most other attacks do, then that's a little different. But if he actually teleports to them, that'd be crazy utility. That's crazy utility. I'd border on that saying that special move would be pretty broken. Imagine if it's teachable. Oh my god. It's also going to be a physical attack too. Anyways, I'm thinking too much. So here we go. So he teleports in, attack there. We got the get out of my timeline Trunks here. Pretty awesome, right? That should be his ultimate attack, by the way. Also looks like it could be his card art too, so I'm excited about that. They also have a manga panel kind of showing that. And then with Cell, basically first appearance, first form Cell. He's doing a Kamehameha right here. Not much really else to say. They have the manga panel corresponding with his Kamehameha. We also have the equip in the game for this, a regen equip that's for that panel as well. So again, kind of looking like we're getting some future / regen support here. Also, keep in mind that Cell is also future stuff. So again, that's kind of what I'm thinking about here. It's very important to keep an eye on like future as we go on. Speaking of future, they're a tag group that also recently got some indirect buffs. I'm going to come back to this Broly movie stuff in a little bit. But Future actually got some indirect buffs in terms of getting access to... where's the Trunks card at? Trunks, here he is. Oh, anyways. Future got some indirect buffs by getting two things. They got the Zenkai for Goku Black. They also got this Vegeta added to the Future tag team. So those are two buffs that are indirect, but really good for this grouping. And again, if we see more characters pop in, because they haven't really got too many new units other than the Goku Blacks recently anyway. I guess Vegeta counts, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, so definitely keep an eye on that. So let's talk about Broly and Cheelai a little bit more, and then we'll talk about the teams. So if it's going to be Broly and Cheelai, I would assume that they're paired with full power Broly, but that's only because I'm assuming that they're going to have like Cheelai represented in some way where she like wishes Broly out of there. I don't know, because that's the most impactful thing she did throughout the whole movie. Other than that, I can maybe see them doing kind of what Dokkan recently did, where they did post or basically end of Z thing when Goku shows up. You know, they're Cheelai, Lemmo, and Broly are companions, right? At the end of the Super Broly movie, and maybe they just do something like that with base form Broly, because we actually don't have, funnily enough, any base form Brolys in the game. We have Fury Broly from Dragon Ball Super Broly, but we don't have him in his regular base form with his hair kind of like downish. We don't have that. We also don't have more Z Brolys, like Super Saiyan 1 Z Broly and base. They don't have that stuff either. So I don't think that matters in this topic, but just for the record. They could do something like that as well. But again, I don't really know what happens with Cheelai, but hey, I hope she buffs female warriors. That would be great for me. In terms of what else we have here, Vegeta family also picking up a buff. I wonder what this Trunks' Z ability would be. Again, like I mentioned earlier, he's got a lot of opportunity. He could be numerous different types of teams, and I'm excited for what he could ultimately be headlining in terms of the Z ability and stuff like that. Also, if he has any sort of passive buffs built in, and also if he's going to adopt the Vegeta family playstyle. The Vegeta family playstyle is basically beat him up. It's reload hand or like super cheap cards, a combination of both. That's their family playstyle. It's like 85% offense, very minimal defense, and just basically beat up the enemy. That's pretty much their playstyle. So I'm interested to see if he adopts that playstyle as well. It looks like he probably would wind up being a ranged type unit though, just for the record, which isn't bad. They have some really good ranged units here. But this tag team kind of doesn't really know what it wants to be other than the playstyle. They have a lot of ranged and also melee types. So he also could be buffing hybrids. Now, again, remember, hybrids is a team that has picked up some buffs recently-ish, decently recently. The yellow Gohan, the green transforming future Gohan as well. They picked up that Namek Kid Gohan, who was actually their only double attack buffer, if I recall correctly, at a higher star level anyway. And also they got Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's Zenkai buff. So they've, again, picked up some stuff recently. If this Trunks comes in and he buffs, like, say, for example, Strike Attack or Blast Attack and Defense, whatever, all of a sudden Hybrids has a really good unit for their team that they have not had in a long time. Now, Hybrids mainly wants to be a melee team. It's so weird, right? Because they're yellow and purple Gohan, and also this green Gohan who's really good. Some of these other cards, like Purple Trunks, they want to be on melee teams, but these front two want to be on blast teams. It's so weird how they're designing these teams, but it's good for diversity anyway. And again, we could also see potentially more Zenkais or buffs for these guys. I'm just going to say Zenkai because at this point, regular balance changes are probably gone, right? Gotenks could be an option. Super Trunks could be an option. And then we'd really be cooking, right? Oh, by the way, we basically have some representation from that Trunks already in the game, basically. Not exactly the same, but sort of. And these are the tags that new Trunks should have, by the way. And again, Super Saiyans is also, I guess, a topic. If he buffs Super Saiyan, that'd be pretty awesome. Like, they don't have enough buffers. That'd be awesome, actually. I'd love that. Last thing, I don't really have much words for Regen. You guys know Regen. You guys know that it's basically the best team in the game at this point by a significant margin, in fact. What color do they need? Like, they got a purple. They got a couple really good yellows. They got a couple strong blues. They really don't. Zenkai Boo, they don't need anything. Why are we still buffing this tag group? Why are we giving them stuff? They really don't need anything. Look at this roster of characters. I guess Red is the weak link, but Janemba, because if I was playing this team, I would not use Janemba at all unless I was trying to go up against a yellow Gohan. And then also some people are edgy and they run Zamasu now because they can do the Zamasu, the baby, and then also, who is it, Zenkai Buu trio, whatever fun little stuff they're doing. But like, this team doesn't need anything. Why are we still buffing them? Stop. Cell could maybe buff androids though. Hopefully he buffs androids. Screw Regen, make him buff android. That's what I'll say. Android low-key doesn't really need that much either, but make him buff androids, and I'm happy with that. So let me know how you guys feel about this. Again, tonight we should have the Broly Cheelai stuff coming out in the game, and I'll also be back for a news video on that. But let me know how you guys feel about this as well. Have an awesome day, everyone, and I'll catch all of you in the next one. And if you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that thumbs up. It takes 5 seconds, less than 5 seconds. It does help out the channel as well, helps the videos pop more and get more viewership, so I really appreciate all your support. Have an awesome day, and I'll catch all of you in the next one.